in the Tres Rios neighborhood of Culiacan, August 2026. A young man broadcasts live to his followers when a motorcycle suddenly swerves onto the sidewalk. He and two friends are hanging out outside a local fast food restaurant during rush hour. To anyone passing by, they look like ordinary gig workers, wearing the bright orange jackets and carrying the insulated backpacks typical of food delivery drivers. The motorcycle pulls up beside them carrying two men in helmets. Without warning, the passenger draws a handgun and fires at point-blank range. The physical violence translates instantly to the digital sphere. As the victim collapses to the pavement, the entire execution is broadcast in real time to a shocked online audience. Online fame does not shield creators from the realities of modern cartel warfare. A massive digital following acts as a beacon, drawing high-visibility violence directly to a physical location. The victim was 25-year-old César Gastélum. He was a massive TikTok creator, building an audience of nearly 600,000 followers through comedy sketches. His content frequently tapped into the bellico aesthetic, an online subculture borrowing heavily from the narco lifestyle, adopting the slang, fashion, and swagger of cartel operatives. Gastélum scored his videos with regional Mexican music, directly tied to criminal syndicates. In one post, he posed in front of the grave of another local influencer who had been assassinated months earlier. Social media recommendation engines detect the high engagement on these daring posts. The algorithms quickly amplify the cartel-adjacent content, rewarding the dangerous aesthetics with millions of views and rapid viral growth. By monetizing narco-culture for likes and views, creators erase the line between civilian entertainers and active participants in an ongoing conflict. Following the shooting, local police and forensic teams descended on the parking lot, cordoning off the street to collect cartridge casings and pull footage from nearby surveillance cameras. Simultaneously, a digital cleanup effort took place. Tech platforms scrambled their moderation teams to scrub the live execution footage from feeds before it could spread further. As the investigation opened, authorities focused on a specific profile pattern. Gastélum's recent uploads had explicitly referenced a localized criminal faction, effectively choosing a side in an active war zone. Gunmen in Sinaloa are now using phone chats to identify targets, searching the contact lists and photos of those they stop for any link to a rival faction. A single audio clip or photo is now enough to trigger an execution or a kidnapping. Today, cartels police these expanding virtual spaces with the exact same ruthless, lethal force they apply to physical territory. The physical backdrop for this digital surveillance is Culiacan, the capital of Sinaloa, and a city currently locked in a brutal power struggle. The violence ignited in July 2024, following the arrest and alleged betrayal of longtime cartel kingpin Ismael El Mayo Zambada in the United States. His capture shattered the region's fragile criminal ecosystem. The Sinaloa Cartel fractured, triggering an all-out civil war between forces loyal to Zambada, known as La Mayiza, and the faction controlled by the sons of El Chapo, Los Chapitos.
The ensuing conflict has devastated the local population. Since the split, authorities estimate that more than 4,000 people have been killed or disappeared across the region. In response, the Mexican government has heavily militarized the state, deploying thousands of army soldiers and National Guard troops in tactical vehicles to patrol the urban centers. The environment is hyper-paranoid. In this war of allegiance, simply posting the wrong emoji, wearing the wrong color, or pairing a video with the wrong audio track can trigger a fatal response. Gastélum is not an isolated casualty. Since the infighting erupted, at least 12 different social media influencers have been murdered in Culiacan alone. The trend extends far beyond Sinaloa. In May 2025, a similar execution took place in the neighboring state of Jalisco, claiming the life of 23-year-old beauty influencer Valeria Marquez. Hitmen tied to the Jalisco New Generation Cartel breached the salon where she worked. Disguised as delivery drivers, they claimed they had to personally hand over a very expensive gift, presenting her with a stuffed animal and a coffee. As they approached, Marquez was broadcasting live on TikTok. She voiced her growing unease to her audience, stating she was worried they were going to kill her, just minutes before the fatal shots were fired. Across Mexico, content creators are drafted into this underworld, utilized as unwitting propaganda tools when useful, and eliminated as high-value targets when they cross invisible lines. Mexico's security cabinet immediately opened an investigation into Gastélum's death, announcing that they were actively analyzing surveillance recordings and social media posts to track the perpetrators. The execution drew direct condemnation from the highest levels of government, with President Claudia Sheinbaum demanding justice and vowing to uncover the masterminds during her morning press conference. While the president makes these official demands from the podium, the gunmen continue to operate in the streets with absolute impunity. The heavy deployment of federal troops has not prevented hit squads from conducting assassinations in broad daylight. Political rhetoric and tech company moderation protocols offer zero physical protection against a deployed hit squad. The status of the Gastélum case remains bleak. Despite the execution taking place during rush hour and being broadcast to a live audience, 0 arrests have been made. The 2 men on the motorcycle remain at large. A lingering atmosphere of fear dictates what creators will now post.
The state has yet to officially attribute the killing to either La Mayiza or Los Chapitos, leaving the exact motive buried in ongoing rumors. This cycle of digital to physical violence has become normalized. Online posturing frequently ends in real-world mourning, marked by massive floral wreaths sent to local cemeteries. For a generation of creators, adopting cartel aesthetics for viral reach is no longer a performance. It is a decision that can end with an execution broadcast live to millions.